friends, welcome to Kamath Astrology. Today's topic is simultaneous Mars or Mangal mahadasha of India and its current Prime Minister, that is Mr. Narendra Modi. So what is the impact of Mangal mahadasha on our country, that is India, on the world, as well as how will Modi ji behave in this mahadasha? What changes will he bring which will impact India as a whole and also the people living in India is what we will see in this video. Now I want you to have a look at the chart of the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He was born on 17th September 1950, 11 am in Mehsana, Gujarat. And currently he is having the Mangal mahadasha for 7 years starting from 30th November 2021 to 30th November 2028. Now if you see this chart carefully, Mars is the Lagnesh, that is the first house lord, which represents the physical self personality, and also the sixth house lord who represents competition, who represents diseases, conflicts, power struggles. And you can see the sixth house lord has gone into the first house and is placed conjunct the moon, who is the ninth house lord of destiny, career, guru's father in this chart. Now moon actually gets debilitated or weak in the sign of Vrishik or Scorpio. However, here there is a Neech Bhang Rajyog formed because moon is conjunct Mars, the ruler of Scorpio. So moon gets the complete support of Mars, and this forms a strong Chandramangal Yoga in this horoscope, which means that Modi ji will be very competitive, very aggressive in destroying his enemies. Now Scorpio as a sign represents hidden things, represents secrets. And here you can see the sixth house lord who represents enemies, diseases, conflicts has gone into the first house, which means Narendra Modi ji will always have hidden enemies. You can also see that the third lord of efforts, siblings, and the fourth lord representing home, peace, happiness is Saturn, who is placed in the sign of Leo, which is the 10th house of career, conjunct Venus, the 7th lord of partnerships and the 12th lord of isolation and expenses. Now Saturn in the sign of Leo is like a union leader who fights for the rights of others, but will not get much credit for this fight. Now if you observe the top left side of the screen, you can see three planets are at 0 degrees. You can see the Sun is at 0 degrees of Kanya or Virgo, Mars is at 0 degrees of Scorpio, Mercury is at 0 degrees of Kanya. So it is a very strong conjunction between Sun and Mercury. Sun is just on the boundary between Leo and Virgo. Similarly, Mars is on the boundary between Libra and Scorpio, and Mercury is also on the boundary between Leo and Virgo. So it is a very strong conjunction. You can also see Saturn is at 29 degrees of Leo, Sun is at 0 degrees. So there is a very strong Saturn-Sun conjunction, and Leo by itself is a sign that represents the government, that represents administration, and Sun here represents power. So the Saturn-Sun conjunction here actually makes Modi ji a politician, a very strong politician, a very diplomatic politician. Modi ji will always get rid of his enemies in a hidden way. He will never openly criticize, unlike his opponents, but he will do things silently. Jupiter, who is the lord of the fifth and the second house, is in the sign of Aquarius, which is the fourth house, representing motherland representing peace and happiness, as well as home. Jupiter represents expansion, so Modi ji definitely gets an opportunity to live in a big home. In the later stages of his life, he also gets a lot of happiness. Now, the seventh and the 12th Lord. Seventh Lord represents partnerships, marriage. 12th Lord represents isolation, losses, expenses. That is Venus or Shukra, who is placed conjunct Saturn in Leo. This is the reason why Modi ji is a bachelor. He does not have a life partner. Saturn here imposes restrictions. And in a way, this is good, because if this person marries, he will face lot of conflicts in his married life, because the Saturn and Sun are very close together and conjuncting Venus. Wherever Saturn is placed, there is always pressure. Saturn is placed in the 10th house of career, sign of Leo, as well as close to the Sun, indicating a political career. So his political life will also have a lot of struggle, lot of turmoil, lot of ups and downs. Now, if you observe the fifth house, it is the sign of Mean or Pisces, and fifth house is about love, romance, children, and fame. And Rahu is very obsessive about fame. In reality, Modi ji is also very obsessive about fame. This is the reason why he frequently poses in different photographs in newspapers, or you can also see him meditating in a cave. Why does a person want to take a photograph while meditating in a cave? That is because of the presence of Rahu, who wants recognition, and this Rahu is seen in the fifth house. The 12th house, natural 12th house of the zodiac is Mean, which is Modi ji's fifth house. And so a person seeks fame in isolation. That is why this person goes to meditate in caves, and you have his photographs coming in interviews in newspapers while he is meditating. Now, Modi ji's Mangal mahadasha has already started on 30th November 2021, and it will go on for 7 years till 30th November 2028. Now, if you look at the period from 20th April 2024 to 30th May 2025, Modi ji will have Mangal Mahadasha with Saturn Antardasha. Now, both these planets are having opposite energies. One is like the accelerator of a car, other is like the brake. And when both are pressed simultaneously, like I explained earlier, the car starts vibrating. So this will be a period when Modi ji will face a very challenging time. He will come up with aggressive policies, aggressive decisions to further the growth of India, but he could face opposition from the masses, whom Saturn represents, as well as his own colleagues or people within his own cabinet. So this is going to be a time when Modi ji will become very aggressive, but will face a lot of opposition and resistance in implementing his policies. If you look at the period from 30th May 2025 to 27th May 2026, within Mars Mahadasha, there is Mercury or Buddha Antardasha. And Buddha in this chart is the 8th and the 11th Lord. 8th Lord represents sudden events, 11th Lord represents gains, wishes, desires, aspirations, friend circle. Now, this will be the time when the Western countries and the Arab countries will be in a peak situation of war. And during this time, Modi ji will try and protect his country in a big way. It is quite possible that in this time period, the army may temporarily take over the country's affairs to a large extent, even though Modi ji will be in power. This is because major countries in the world will be in war, and our army will also have a role to play. Now, between 27th May 2026 to 24th October 2026, there is a Ketu Antardasha, and this is a time when Modi ji may face a political assassination attempt, or he may leave politics for good. Now let us look at the horoscope of independent India. So if you see independent India's horoscope, you can see that Mars is present in the second house of Gemini with Uranus, and you can see all the other planets like Venus, Moon, Mercury, Saturn, Sun are present in the third house. So when so many planets are present in the third house, which represents neighboring countries, our country's borders, you can see that there is always tension on our borders, conflicts on our borders. Now independent India will also have the Mangal mahadasha starting from 11th September 2025 to 11th September 2032. So both the country and its ruler are having Mangal mahadasha. Mangal is the karka for war, aggression, dominance, and therefore when a country's ruler and the country itself is running the Mangal mahadasha, it means the country is going to face wars, going to face lot of challenges. Now you can see that within Mangal mahadasha there is Rahu Antardasha between 8th August 2026 to 26th Feb 2027. This is a time when there will be wars. India will also get involved in the world war that is going to happen. It will be a very challenging time for India. You can see Rahu is in India's ascendant, which is 12th from where Mars is placed. So it does indicate war in this time period, India's involvement in war in this time period. This will be a time when religious disputes and clashes in regions within India, such as West Bengal, the northern sides of India, will increase in a big way. It will be a very challenging time for India. Now, the time from 26th Feb 2027 to 1st Feb 2028 is when we have the Jupiter Antardasha in the Mars Mahadasha. And Jupiter here is in the 6th house of Libra in India's horoscope. Now, that is also not a good thing because it indicates a religious divide happening in India. However, during this time period, a new government will be formed. And thereafter, if you see from 1st February 2028 to 11th March 2029, there is a Shani Antardasha in Mangal Mahadasha. And around 2030 August, you can see there is the Mars Mahadasha with Ketu Antardasha. Now, this period from 2029 March to August 2030 is when the World War III peaks and India will be involved in a big way in the war in this time period. This world war is likely to continue till September 2032, and that is when the Mangal Mahadasha of India will come to an end. So if you see, as per the Bhavishya Malika also, during the last 6 years of the world war, India will get involved. And if the world war ends in 2032, 6 years before that means 2026. So from 2026 mid, India is definitely going to get involved in major conflicts, major wars, or something as big as the world war. India cannot remain neutral in this time. It will have to take sides. So to conclude, the Mangal Mahadasha of Modiji and India means Modiji will now become very aggressive in his decision making. Mars is with the moon, so it brings aggression, dominance to his mind. He will be ruthless in eliminating his enemies, but he will do it in a hidden way, a silent way. He will not go around publicizing. And when his Ketu Antardasha starts in the Mars Mahadasha, that is when he will think of leaving active politics and move away from politics and give the power to a new person. Now for India, the Mangal Mahadasha shows a very challenging time starting from 26th Feb 2027, and also this will start slowly from 8th February 2026. So that is the time when India will start getting involved in the World War conflicts. So Modi phase 3 is going to be very aggressive now. As the Mangal mahadasha progresses, you will see a different face of Modi ji. He will become very aggressive. He will implement very strict policies. India will become a world leader. There will be very heavy investment in defense and war by Modi ji in this time period. Now, between the year 2025 to 2026, India will still do good progress on the financial front. India will be a leader in food manufacturing, commercial goods supply is what I see during these coming years. So friends, this is my analysis of Mangal Mahadasha of Modi ji as well as our country, that is India, simultaneously happening, and I have already told you what will be its impact in depth now. If you like this video, please mark it as liked on YouTube. You can reach us through our email address astrosevaworld@yahoo.com. You can also visit our website astroseva.tripod.com to know more about us. So friends, thanks a lot. Bye. Take care and stay safe. Hope you liked this video. We'll see you soon with another video shortly. Till then, bye. Take care.